So in the 90s, the V12 Supra, aka Smokey Nagata's top secret Supra, became viral before there was even a YouTube, or before, hell, going viral was even a thing. Because in this car was a V12 that literally was ripped out of a Toyota Century, which is basically Toyota's version of a Rolls Royce. The 1GZ FE V12 had to be ran like two separate 2JZ blocks, because since it's a V12 at the time, nobody was really making aftermarket parts for these. So he had to craft pistons, rod, and crank all by himself. Like, just built everything in-house at his top secret shop. And like I said, since it was a V12, Smokey had to have two ECUs to run this thing like two separate engines. And with twin turbos, it made 900 horsepower and 700 plus pounds of torque. Now, Boost Doctor, I'm concerned, because where did you find time to build the Batmobile and throw sixes on it? The big wheel culture is not ready for this. This man did not come to play with y'all. This man is probably just sitting around the shop wishing a motherfucker would every second of the hour. Because as soon as you say, oh, Boost Doctor ain't fast, he gonna pull this motherfucker out faster than Pootie Tang pull out a leather belt. Listen, Granddaddy, this is all I'm saying. Let me zoom in. Listen, all I'm simply saying is you entering this into a competition would be like Big Show, entering a kids wrestling match. This man's car literally has more lip than Fantasia. Bro, look at this unit. Man, he snatched the wings off an F-22 Raptor, painted it black, threw some sixes on it, and said, bam, this is my big wheel car. It's gotten to the point where people so afraid to race Boost Doctor because he's so unpredictable, y'all might as well call him he who shall not be named. It's always, I could beat Blue Magic, I could beat Don't Master, but won't nobody say, oh, well, I could beat Boost Doctor. Might gonna put a foot so far in y'all ass, he could tickle your heart with his toenails. This thing nastier than an Atlanta strip club after 12 o'clock. This thing nastier than Porky Pig with OnlyFans. This thing about it scary is like if you seen a shark with horse legs. You see a motherfucking shark with horse legs walking towards you, what the fuck you gonna do? Shit all on yourself and run? Lord Jesus. So, after about 2,000 angry comments saying, how dare you talk about Nelson Racing Engines before you talk about Steve Morris? He's the GOAT. He's the God of infinity. Okay. Y'all probably have no idea who Steve Morris is. This is the same guy that built a 16-cylinder quad turbo engine that made 5,000 horsepower for this vehicle, the DeVille 16. This is a 5,007 horsepower, 3,700 plus pound-foot of torque supercar. This supercar may weigh no more than about maybe 3,800 or 3,600 pounds, give or take, with 3,700 pound-feet of torque. Listen, y'all ain't grasping this. Like, if we could finally get some footage of this thing in action, they need to line this up with the Bugatti Chiron. Hell, even Steve Morris's car, this is a 6-second Roadmaster called the Boostmaster, and this thing makes 3,200 horsepower. Might be a little more since then, but this thing makes about 3,200 horsepower, and it weighs 3,600 pounds. Now cue the Honda comments. Oh, all that just to get beat by 1,000 horsepower all-wheel drive Honda. Listen, this is a fucking pro mod. If this man decided to use 100% throttle, he'd more than likely go back in time and spank you on your ass like the doctor should have. Let me break this down to where you all understand. Cadillac did not like black people in the early 1900s. They did not like black people. They did not sell to black people. In fact, there was a policy, meaning if your blue black ass went to this lot, knocked on a window and said, listen, I'm here to buy a Cadillac, you were going to be hanging by the nearest tree. The whole thing was Cadillac was not making enough money. They had all these nice cars, but nobody was buying them. The only people that were buying them were poor white people that were being paid off by black people to go get a car for them. Remember, this is an era where you could be walking down the street and get randomly hit with a brick and police more than likely wouldn't do anything about it. So a man named Nicholas was like, look, Y'all need to drop this policy. If you drop this policy, I guarantee you, the numbers are absolutely going to go up. They were skeptical at first, but after some conversating amongst each other, it was like, listen, we're going to do this, but it's going to be your ass if this doesn't work. Their numbers went up by 70%. Listen to what I'm telling y'all. They were in a rut, and by dropping the policy and allowing black people to actually purchase these nice, fancy, big body Cadillacs that most of your fathers were created in, their sales went up to 70%. Maybe y'all ain't hearing me. The Cadillac was like the flagship luxury vehicle of America. Even more so than Rolls Royce. Like, nobody cared for Rolls Royce. Only people that drove Rolls Royce was like the uber rich people. But other than that, a large majority of both white, Hispanic, Mexican, Irish, just doesn't matter. Everybody had a Cadillac. Hell, the movie Scarface featured a Cadillac multiple times. Literally, the only other thing that could compete with a Cadillac, and I can't even believe I'm saying this, was a Lincoln Town car. If you had a Lincoln Town car or rode in a Lincoln Town car limousine, you had some real money back then.